I have been in use it up or smash it mode lately, and I managed to smash 3 more partial pads and collections, and just wanted to share with you what all I managed to get from these. Hey guys, it's Beth. Welcome. Like I said in my intro, have been in kind of use it up, smash it mode. I think because I didn't get to do a lot of like true smash it type of paper crafting for a long while, and was just hungry to get back into it. This is actually a project I started in fall of 2022. I decided I wanted to make some December dailies for our craft shows and for online for the upcoming Christmas season. And I went through my stash and I had these 3 partial pads and 2 pads and a collection that were partials that coordinated really well. So I thought, well, I'll just combine them all together and I can make my December dailies and then, finish them off. Well, it was in the fall that's our busy craft show season anyway. So I never had time to really finish any of it. And so it just sat on my desk in a bin marked projects in process for the last year. And so again, you think I'd learned this fall, I decided, I'm going to get those journals finished so that I can get them into our inventory. And it didn't happen. I think I got a little bit more done on them, and then I just kind of worked on bits and parts of this here and there. So anyway, long story long, in my stash, I had the partial Christmas delivery collection kit, this evergreen cabin pad from Craftsmart or Michael's, and then this Christmas pad from Recollections, which also it's not just Christmas, it's Jingle Jolly paper pad. This one was a doozy. It was one of those 180 sheet pads, and I'd used a lot, there was still quite a bit left. So I thought the colors coordinated really well, and so, like I said, decided to throw them all together. I have 2 chunky December dailies here. They're pretty much the same, so I will just kind of flip through one. But it was mostly papers, like I said, from all 3 of those collections, a few things from my stash to maybe fill in, like page-wise, and then some embellishments, ephemera from my stash, like this Christmas card front, doilies. I brought in some vellum, some graph paper, but I was trying to use up scraps as much as I could. So these journals have a lot of embellishing and a lot of journal cards. So it's a double pocket there. I brought in index cards too, just as extra journal spots. A lot of pockets. A lot of just paper embellishing. I did try and use stickers from the sticker sheets that I had as well. I, even took some of those index cards and used the scraps that I had left to cover them just so that they weren't totally blank. This is a Norman Rockwell Christmas book that I have that just has talks about Christmas traditions and has some recipes and songs. I also had some journal cards from Stampin' Up! That were Christmas themed. This is I think a Christmas recipe book. And so I brought some of those journal cards in because those coordinated fairly well also. And that's just index card. This is one of those from the Stampin' Up! Another Christmas card front from my stash, stickers. I did try to add some, fun pockets or flips. Envelopes. This is the center of the journal, so I have my tie here. And in the center here, I've just included some of the additional ephemera that I had that somebody can use. I usually print out numbers 1 through 31 and then punch them out just so people can add the numbers as they go, depending on the number of pages they need for each day. Just some cut aparts and journaling cards and scrap cards that people can use. And then at some point I had thrifted this pad that actually had like little vintage-ish card bases. And so I just threw one of those in as well. Another scrap journaling card there. Really just wanted to use up scraps. Now we're on the back side, so you're going to see the back sides of the book pages, and this was just a little paper bag that I had that had these little tags in them. Added those on. Got some double side pocket here for some of the bigger journal cards. And that one recollections pad that had the 180 sheets was really thin paper. So in order to make tags out of it to use in here, like I had to back it either on like those the index cards or like some white cardstock because they were just really thin. So here's a bigger tag that I had made just using white cardstock. So these two journals did use up a good chunk of the paper, but I still had a lot left. So my cover is just a sheet from, I think, the Evergreen Cabins pad. I just really thought that was a really pretty pattern, and it had some glitter on it, so I didn't think it'd make a great journal page. And so I just trimmed it down so that I could laminate it. And these are just the standard Scotch laminating pouches. And then I have my tan wax thread here. I thought it worked okay since there were browns and tans in this pattern. And then my white seam binding. So I had most of these made most of the journal made last year. Like the signature was put together, the pages were there. I just hadn't embellished it or sewed it up or finished it off in any way. So that's kind of what I worked on throughout this season. And then I had also started last year trying to use up some of the scraps that I had, like a bunch of the same type of scrap. I made some card kits. And so I still need to finish some of these off. Like I need to print sentiments for this pile here. But I had just made myself a note last year, like that I would have to add a card mat, like a cardstock card mat. And then I would need different pattern strips, a sentiment circle, and then I had a rough little sketch there. So basically it would be, I'll do something that you can see a little better on camera. So say we would take that, you could take that card mat, that pattern, and then maybe something with greens. And then you would have a circle sentiment that you could add here. So kind of busy, but still fun and simple enough that anybody could put together. And I think I have 3 of these, 3 or 4 of these. Like there were a lot of similar scraps. So I just need to print my sentiments and then I can package those up. And then I have 2 other card kits that use cut aparts. This one uses some of there were a lot of 4x4 cut aparts in one of I think it was probably the Cartabella one. And I just took I saved the ones that I had thought would make good card sentiments. And so I figured you could use those and on the cards. And then these are just mats, and it's mixed from all of my pads. And then I had made an example so I could at least take a picture. And actually this one I didn't have any of these 4x4 left, so I just took a piece of scrap and then fussy cut out this piece from something, maybe a smaller cut apart, and then this joy is a word that I had die cut out of scraps. So And then another kit I have uses 3x4 size cut aparts. And so this is an example I have, and you would just have a like pattern paper mat, a pattern paper strip, a cut apart, and then if the cut apart does not already have a sentiment on it, then I will include some sentiments. So again, just various cut aparts and various patterns. So these two are like super beginner friendly. So there's 5 card kits, and then I have actually made and sold out of, I think I had made 2 or 3 of this version of the card kit and sold all of those already. But this is just another kind of clean and simple one, and it just has like that one pattern. And these were just extras that I was able to make out of some of the leftovers. So yeah, got a bunch of these. And I also in the kit had included some little vinyl circles as extra embellishments. And then I still had lots of papers left. And so I just tried to use up scraps as best I could on cards. Didn't really follow sketches for this first bunch, was just trying to use up pieces together that I thought I could. Brought in some cut aparts or ephemera pieces. Some of these are like really busy, but I still think they're fun. Brought in stickers where I could. This was a strip scrap card. And then I have a bunch of 3.5, those are all A2, like all of my card kits and everything were A2. I have a bunch of 3.5 by 5 size envelopes that I need to use up. And so anytime I'm making cards for soldiers that I'm going to sign the inside of, I try to do them as 3.5 by 5 so I can use up those smaller envelopes. So I made a few kind of random ones with scraps. This was a smaller version of the strip scrap card. And then this one, just wanted to use that Let It Snow ephemera piece. And then I do have scraps on the insides of all of my finished cards as well. And then I had smaller scraps, and so I brought in 2 of my favorite sketches for using up scraps. Operation Ride Home number 25. And just trimmed down some of my strips into rectangles, and then I did print a page of like long, kind of skinny sentiments that I could use for this card. And then I don't know that I had to cut down any cardstock mats. I think these were all like in my mat stash somewhere or in my scrap cardstock stash. So Operation Ride Home number 154. Again, just focused on smaller scraps. Like this one actually combines from a couple different pads. I think this one is from a couple different pads, but they all coordinate pretty well. And then going back to that 3.5 by 5 size card, I took this sketch, which was designed for A2 size card, which is 4.25 by 5.5, and kind of shrunk it down to fit a 3.5 by 5. So I believe that my square, my matte square up here, I went down to 3 inches, and then my squares are 1 1/8 inch square. So I got 2 of those little guys. And that worked out really nice. And I'll have to keep that in mind because it's a great way to use up. A lot of times when I go through my strips that I have left, I see what do I have that's 1 3/4 inches that could go with this sketch. And if they're not wide enough for that, are they wide enough to use with this sketch? And so now I know if they're not wide enough to use with either one of those, see if I can use a smaller version. And I might even be able to shrink that one down too. Just haven't thought about it yet. So the next project, but wait, there's more. Sounds like a cheesy game show at this point. I had made some of these on, I've shared them on past videos this season, but these are just little square blocks that we had, like scrap wood, that I kind of sanded down and then just painted the edges of. I just painted them white so that you wouldn't see like raw wood showing through on the corners. And then used Mod Podge and added scrap pieces of paper so it just looks like a little present. These are great, for little tray groupings or a tiered tray or something. And I made a stash of these for every craft show we had, like leading like up to this Christmas season. So it's like 3 or 4 of the craft shows kind of closer to Christmas season that I made these for, and I sold out every single time. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and use the scraps from this to get a head start on next year's inventory for these. I had just, put them all in like a basket together, and so that people could mix and match. And I just said, I don't remember if I said 3 for $8 or $3 each. I don't remember what my actual price breakdown was, but I did do like a price for 1 or a price for 3 where you would save some money. So, and we do have some of these blocks on our website that are unfinished if you would like to make some yourself. And one more project, and this was inspired by Letty at Party Planner Papery. She did a video in November. I believe she was using a 6x6 pad. But I just remember when I saw the project, I thought that would be great for scraps. And so I will link her video down in the description box below for you where she talks about how to make these. But I had some heavy duty cardstock scraps left from, I think, an album pages I had cut down at one point, and they were like perfect size for this. And so I just trimmed them down and scored them and then pieced together scraps. Like, I think this is 2 different scraps, and then I covered this seam in the middle with another scrap, and then I did add like some cut aparts. So I just have a bunch of these, but you can stick a gift card. Sorry, I don't even know if I told you really what they were. They're little gift card holder ornaments. So you can stick a gift card back here. I still need to add like a little circle or tag shape that has to and from, so that people can write their information on there. And then you can hang it on a tree, or you could hang it on a present and use it as a gift tag that also has a gift card holder in it. But when I saw Letty's video, I knew I had to give this a try. So this will be something I will probably do more of, trying to use scraps. Like this one, I did have a to from on there. So thank you, Letty, for that idea. So yes, that is my project share. It has taken me, over a year, probably like 15 months at this point from when I started to when I finally finished. But I finally finished these 3 partial pads. And this one I might still come in and do some bookmarks from, because these longer strips would be great for bookmarks. And some of the smaller pieces I've been using for gift tags for our family, because we were out. I had the sticker sheets I had left, Christmas delivery, all I have left are these letters, and I've used up a lot of the main ones. I tried to see if I could come up with anything to spell on any cards or like in my journals, but I couldn't even come up with joy because there's no Y. There's not enough O's to do ho ho ho. So I was like, yeah. And then on this one, all I have left, and this was actually an extra sticker sheet that I think I brought in because this is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, Volume 1. All I have left are like some little snowflakes or stars and like a little candy. So I still need to make some gift tags. So that's probably a good use for those little stickers. But yes, 3 pads down. I apologize for not doing a good process video for you in a while on something like this, but this was just done here and there. And, a lot of these projects were already started. I just needed to actually finish them. So none of this got done in time to be useful for the 2023 holiday season. But instead of saying, oh, I'm so late, I'm going to look at it like I am one step ahead for next year. I am working ahead. So that's my attitude with this. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So thanks for watching today. Hopefully, if you are still doing some Christmas crafting, that you got some inspiration to finish out your Christmas crafting season. And as always, I thank you all so very much for your time today, and hope you all have a very crafty day.